I think a large part of that is that we first have to be safe for ourselves. Safety starts within. We should be cloaked in it ourselves. So I'm gonna carry my safe space and merge it into a larger safe space. But a
Mhm.
lot of us are not safe with ourselves. We don't even know
No,
we don't even know what that
I'm glad you
looks
said
like.
that.
We are harmful to ourselves.
Yeah,
We self-hate our talk, we self-doubt, I mean, like it's bad. It's
yeah,
really, really bad. And
yeah.
it saddens me because I'm thinking I run into people all the time. And then, and I'm just like, I was at this event when I went to NOLA, went to this event, and the person next to me, they're just dancing, dancing, and NOLA, that's the twerking capital, so they wanted to get on and twerk it. So they asked me, hold my purse. Now, I don't know this person from Adam. I'm from Florida. Like, I don't even
You don't
live
do
here.
that.
I don't
Right.
do that.
You don't
I
know
don't,
me, and but you asking me to hold your purse.
the whole soul, the safe person that I am, I held it. I'm just sitting there, holding it and laughing at the twerking situation. Now, when they finished twerking, I think they forgot I had their purse. So I'm like, excuse me, your purse. And they're like, oh my God, and they made a joke like, you ain't take all my money. I'm laughing. We laughed about it. Another black person. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, it happens to me often where people are entrusting things to me that you don't know me from Adam. You want me to watch your child for a second? Like, really, you don't know me. But
Yeah,
I realize, like, I carry safety with me. I
yeah,
I carry safety with me. Now, I
yeah.
would not advise that to anybody. Like, you don't know people, but there's some people carry that energy like you're really safe. You're really, or people just start talking and opening up out of like, can you just finish ringing up my item? I don't
I don't
want
want
to.
to have a conversation. This is why
I
sometimes
really
I
don't.
just
I
take
don't want to
checkouts
hold
and I don't want to
space
talk
for
to
that.
you. I'm not in the
I
mood.
gotta go, or I don't feel like it. I don't feel like hearing.
Right.
Sometimes I'll just order to pick my stuff up off the curb because I just don't want to deal with, what people are sensing in that space. Going back to what I was saying, it's important for us to understand what safety looks like for ourselves. Like,
Hmm.
become safe for you. If you become safe for you, then you will be safe for other women. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But we come into these spaces and we're such a wreck. Like, safe spaces, yes, they're designed for healing, but safe space is not it's not a soul threshing floor for you. Like, this is for the collective, sis. Like,
Correct.
you do that stuff on your own.
Right. I think
Come in
that
here like
understanding
that.
that people people overall lack emotional intelligence,
Yes.
but I find overwhelmingly, again, because of the scarring and the trauma and the generational and things that are
Yeah.
systemic, black
Yeah.
women especially, and it becomes especially difficult for us to learn
Yeah.
how to be emotionally intelligent because first of
Yes.
all it starts with self-awareness and
Yes.
do I
Yes.
really, you have to ask yourself, do I really want to be self-aware? Because at the end of the day some people are blissfully ignorant and we have to accept that.
Gotta accept it. It's just who they are. Yeah.
And I always say, you know what, if that's the case, find your tribe. It's okay if you want to be blissfully ignorant, find your tribe.
Right.
There is a tribe for everybody.
Right.
It's 12
Right.
tribes of Israel.
And that's only Israel. There are so many other tribes.
Then you had the Hittites, the Amorites, and all them ites and the Perizzites and all of them other ites and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Find your tribe. Like
Yeah.
it, and it's that's not a stab. It's not being like there are levels to it. Like, okay, the animal kingdom is set up the way it is for a reason.
Yeah.
There's the predators and the prey.
Absolutely.
You may be prey. That may be your tribe.
Right.
What
Right.
prey, I don't know, right? But your tribe might be, you might be prey because you don't want to be healed. You don't want to be this, and or you might be a predator. That could be good or bad.
Oh, I just discovered somebody I know is a
You know
predator.
what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
it could be good or bad. Are you preying on other people? And I'm saying you don't know what I mean. I ain't
Yes.
talking about praying.
No.
I'm not talking about that.
Praying. No.
I'm talking about you're literally preying on the prey.
You're praying.
You are the predator, preying on the innocence
On the
of
prey.
other people, so that you can,
Yes.
because now you're contributing to the system, and now you're helping the economic system grow. Diamond and silk.
Yep.
I have to give y'all examples because I think that sometimes we don't see it as that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
see it as shucking and jiving and cooning for mass and all this other kind of stuff, but it's psychological,
It
and you got to
is.
understand that. Maybe, just maybe, okay, even within your own tribe,
Mm-hmm.
birds, right? All birds are not created equal. All
No,
eagles are not
they're
created
not.
equal.
They're not. There's
So hey,
different types. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you might decide that you flocking with birds of a feather flock together. Miss Burke used to say that. My elementary school teacher used to say that all the time. Birds of a feather flock together.
Mm-hmm.
And that is true. You don't see geese and swans mixing like that. You don't see doves and pigeons too much together. And you definitely don't see eagles
Not moving together. Yeah. No.
with pigeons and all of that. You don't.
No.
And among eagles, they're not all the same either.
Right. Right.
Eagles and buzzards don't mix.
No. Vultures. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Pelicans
Yeah. Yeah.
don't,
Pelicans and
they all
flamingos.
don't
Yes.
mix.
Yeah.
So when I
Different
say
birds.
find your tribe, you might be all birds. And I'm not saying that as a stab, because back in the day, people used to call you a bird. That meant your brain was small.
When birds are really smart. Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Be like bird brain, not
Yeah.
realizing that you think you stabbing somebody, but really you're not. But okay.
Yeah. But
I'm
we're
not.
gonna.
You know what I'm saying? But if
Yeah.
you a snake, then be a snake.
Right.
But all snakes are not created equal, because snakes eat snakes.
They do, depending on the species. Yes. Yes.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
find your tribe and understand where you are. It's like, you know what? Pick the bear. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the bear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, yeah, I'm picking the bear over a person
Yeah.
as a black woman, right? Like, clearly. And I think that, we're seeing a lot of this. For instance, there's a video that went around. This black woman, she was on her run exercising, and a black man was antagonizing her, cussed her out, drove her, all of this other kind of stuff, being aggressive because she rejected him.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was ridiculous. Now, and I'm just going like, we're not safe even amongst our own.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
so there's
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
to unpack with a lot of the things that's going on. And I think that it's necessary that we understand what we're talking about safe spaces and safety, and why it's necessary to find your tribe, because you will feel more safe and open, and your opportunity to be open and heal.
Yeah.
You truly heal. Now, here's the thing: when it's time to move on from that tribe because you've grown, which is a good thing, that's the whole point of healing, is
Mm-hmm.
growth.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna start feeling uncomfortable, because guess what? That's not your tribe anymore. You've
Right. You
grown,
gotta
you
find the
matured,
next tribe.
you changed. That's a good thing. That baby,
Yeah.
that's a sign. Come on,
Yes.
healing.
It's
You know what I'm
time
saying?
to
That's
go.
when you say,
Yeah.
come on, growth, come on, healing.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
celebrate that.
Yeah.
And then that way you start looking for your next tribe.
Your
Where
next
have I
tribe.
healed up to? Where have I
Yeah.
leveled up? Y'all talk about level up, level up,
Look it up.
level up,
Level
level
up.
up,
Level
level
up.
up, level
Mm,
up, level
mm,
up, level
mm.
up, level up, level up. So when you level up,
Yes.
jukebox is on. She told you jukebox is on. So
Yes.
you level up. When y'all level up, when you level up,
Yeah.
what tribe am I leveling up to? Where is
Yeah.
my group? Where is my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
where, you
Where's
know,
my safe space? I
where's
think
my
for
next safe space? Because I
yes.
recognize
Yes.
that because all you're going to do is you're going to find yourself getting irritated, you're frustrated, because you know that there's more.
Yeah.
That's because you have healed, you're grown, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a
Mm-hmm.
good thing. And
Yeah.
so now is the time to level up to the next, so that you can continue to grow. And as you grow, you heal.
Yeah.
And that hopefully you're finding those tribes that are helping to bring out, those things, and help identify those growth areas and those healing areas and opportunities. And they're giving you tools, tips, resources, and stuff to do it. But at the end of the day, you still got to do the work. And I think that that's the other thing. Black women, we can't be lazy when it comes to healing and being safe spaces and all
Yeah,
that. It's work being a friend.
it's work.
It's work showing up for each other and ourselves. It's
I
work.
was thinking that, as Black women, because we've been historically and presently marginalized, we
Mm-hmm.
have to deem safe spaces necessary. We have to deem it as a necessary part of our foundation for healing, our
And prioritize
foundation
it.
for thriving, our foundation for moving forward. But
Mm-hmm.
when we deem it as optional, and we deem it as, I can do this on my own. I mean, no person should be an island. Like, we need each other. We
Mm-hmm.
definitely need each other. But like you said, you got to find the right tribe so that your needs can be met. Your needs
Yes.
be met in every tribe, and that's okay, because guess what? It's meeting somebody's need. So we're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna dog the tribe. We just gonna find our own. Like, don't dog the tribe out. Find another safe space. Find another one. And maybe you're the person that needs to create one if you
Mm-hmm.
haven't found one. Like,
Correct. Because everybody is unique. What is unique to you?
right.
You know what I mean? I think that I have a friend from high school, Melanie. She's edited all my books. It's amazing. And in the beginning, I didn't understand YouTube. This is way back in the day when
Mm-hmm.
YouTube was first. And she was like, just think of it as a mall
Mm-hmm.
with different stores. There's,
Or
she said, remember XYZ Mall growing up and had different levels and different. So I was like, yeah. She was like, think of it like that,
wow.
you know? So I'm still, still getting it. I didn't fully, but yeah, but I didn't understand video or any of that
Right.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so clearly, if I knew then what I know now,
It
but
would be different, but
oh
you
yeah,
learn. You learn. You learn
baby,
it
I
and
would
you
have cashed
learn.
in early. You know what I mean? Yeah, but anyway. But I think that this whole safe spaces. Think of it like that. Think of it like malls. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's an outlet mall.
Right.
Think of it like that, in or even in those salon suites and different things where
Mm-hmm.
there's this
Mm-hmm.
and there's that. That's what we're talking about when it relates to coming, finding a safe space as Black women and finding your tribe and understanding maybe you need to open up your own space. And when I was in Florida, when Megan did my hair, she had her own. She wasn't in the main part. She had her own
Her
suite.
own sweet.
I was
Yeah.
used to that. So
Yeah.
when she got married and moved on, I
Yeah.
was like, I need something similar. So she was looking for something similar for her clients. And so I found somewhere, a young lady down in Miami or whatnot. And so she went with me. I was like, listen to my consultation. I said, because I don't know exactly what to tell her about my hair. I can tell her
Right.
certain things, but you've been caring for my hair for years. So it makes sense to me that you go with me to the consultation so you can, but also check it out too. So if you feel like this might be good, you can tell me also, yes, she ain't gonna be good. Or you know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
da 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 da. And so when we went, she was like, you know what, my clients, this is what you're used to. You're used to having your own, like being in this own intimate space. You're not used to getting your hair done around other people no more. Like that, whatever. She's like, this is good. Yes, I feel like she will know how to care for your hair and da 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 da, and vice versa
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And just having that conversation. I think that in stuff like that, sometimes I think we think that everything has to be on this grand big scale.
Mm-mm. And it doesn't.
Sometimes, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Keep your circle small.
That's the
Sometimes
best
all you
way.
need
The
is
best way.
a handful of friends. Sometimes a handful is too many.
Yeah. Don't fill the hand up either.
You know
Like,
what I mean? Like out of the 12, Jesus had three.
that's what I'm
Jesus
saying. And
always
there
stole
was
away with the
one.
same and
Yeah.
the same three.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The switch up game wasn't like he want that switch. And then what the same three every
Yeah.
time. It was the
Yeah.
same three.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the three was gangster.
Yeah.
Please understand the three was gangster, especially Peter. You got to have that one that's like, what? That's
Yeah.
gonna pop off. You got to have that one that's like precise. You got to have that one that had no problem throwing hands. You
Yeah.
got to have, you really,
A
I
little bit
feel
of
like I really
everybody. It's a
believe
little
that
bit
in
of
order to
everything.
truly have
Mm-hmm.
that safe space, to have people who really gonna look out for your back
Mm-hmm.
while you're in a vulnerable space,
Mm-hmm.
those Jesus knew them three.
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
he was in a vulnerable space of quietness and needing to do what he's going to do. I'm going off to myself. Yeah, sometimes he went off to himself by himself a lot,
Yeah. I
but a
mean,
lot
we all
there were
need
times
me time. We all need me
we
time.
all need me time, but he took them three to
Absolutely.
watch his back,
Absolutely. That's
and
the
he
inner
had.
circle. Yeah. I think when we start acknowledging that these safe spaces can be such catalysts for sisterhood
Mm,
solidarity, like it can bring us together, and this is how we get into activism, and we get
mhm,
into dealing with inequalities and just injustices, because
yeah.
we're building something together. I found that when I was did my interviews for my dissertation and for my study, and I came across so many beautiful women across the country, that I didn't know, never met until I met. And because we're talking about
Mhm,
this issue,
mhm,
there was so much solidarity into that we were exchanging numbers and emails, and at the end of things, like, oh my god, sis, we need to connect. Why?
mhm.
Because the interviews are safe spaces because they're governed by ethical
Correct
situations,
standards.
right?
Yeah.
It's automatically safe. However, the topic, it brought so much sisterhood in that moment.
Mhm,
Like, I was floored by the women that I met. I was so
mhm,
floored in a good way, because I'm like, oh my God, there's so many women out there that are looking for a space to talk about this. They're
mhm,
looking for a safe space to talk about this,
mhm.
and not that I'm going to be the one to create it. I don't want the responsibility. But I just
Right.
thought it was super amazing how we can become so collective in those spaces. And when we start looking at safe space from that perspective, because maybe everybody don't want to deal with their trauma. Okay, deal with it with your therapist. But in this safe space, when we share our experiences, what are we doing? We're creating a sisterhood. This is
Mhm,
gang, bust them up. Like, I'm sure this is how so many of our activist groups have formed, because we came together. We came together as a collective to say,
mhm.
this is safe for us. We
Yeah.
all feel the same way. We have different experiences, but we all feel the same way.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
can we do about it now?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
feel that's one of the downfalls in our Black community, men and women alike, where we like to have a million clusters, and there's no solidarity with us. Like, it's even in our churches. We got I heard of over 45,000 denominations, in Christianity. And I don't know how many of those are Black, but that's a lot of freaking denominations for one God. Like,
Correct.
why is there a
Correct.
million? Can we come together and become solid in what we standing for, you know? And I think that's something that's such a in my mind, in my heart. I'm like, I want that for our Black people so badly,
Yeah.
because other cultures can do it. We
Other
even
cultures are
other
doing it.
minority cultures. I think about the
Yeah.
Latin culture. It's nothing for them. Listen, the community I live in. Let me tell you something about these Latinos. I saw something so amazing, like, because we live in apartments,
Yeah.
so they had a whole little section, like, for New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, because that's their time to celebrate. Christmas Eve, they out in like the garden area, and families from different apartments, they all were bringing potluck, and they
Yeah.
had music out there, and oh
Mhm.
my god, I was so, like, I started to go out there and join them, but I just admired from afar. And they were playing all Spanish music. I wasn't interested, but i I looked at that and, like,
Yeah.
see, that's collectivism. That
Yeah.
is the community. That is
Community.
safe
Yeah.
space. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
something I want for our Black people so
Yeah.
bad.
And I think that's also regional because I've seen that
Yeah,
in our communities too. So I think it's definitely regional. I think it's
yeah.
also things that over time, that if we don't continue to hand down those good things, stuff like
It
that,
disappeared. Right.
we lose it.
Mhm.
Um,
It's my four and no more. No.
right. And I remember during COVID, the commercials that came out, and this one in particular, it comes up every now and then. How this one neighbor came up with the idea of having a potluck,
Mm-hmm.
but she did it in the hallway
Mm.
of the apartment
The
or whatever.
complex. Mm-hmm.
Because that's what
Mm-hmm.
made me think about it. your example. And she just set up the table.
Wow.
And all the neighbors started seeing she put a centerpiece out, and da 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 da. And it was just like everybody saw the groceries or whatever, and she could, and everybody cooked and came out, and it was just everybody bought chairs, and it ended
Oh,
up being
wow.
the neighbors came together having one meal, connecting to get to know each other because everybody was so isolated because of COVID, this other kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And I
Yeah.
thought that I was like, that's the sense of community that we need again. Because I remember growing up in South Florida, our families, every Sunday dinner was somewhere, or every weekend we would have dinner. Every Friday night we going to the Urban League and having fish. If you Caribbean, you know what you know.
Right.
We having fish.
Right.
We gonna have a fish dinner, fish plate. You gonna get you
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fish sandwich is gonna be something, but we
It's
gonna
gonna be
hang
some
out at
kind
the
of
Urban
fish.
League for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
And while we hanging out at the Urban League, getting fish or whatever, folks gonna be playing dominoes, cards. The kids are gonna be playing board games or volleyball indoor or whatever. It's gonna be something for a little bit,
Yeah.
and you go
Yeah.
home. But there is that unwinding, that moment to unwind and connect, and what's going on, and what happened at school, and how can I help your child
Right.
with science
Right.
and this and
Right.
that.
Right.
That's what I grew up with.
Yeah. Me too.
And I
That's right.
feel like, yes, we are definitely losing that
Yeah.
because one, our communities aren't as safe as they once were because of gentrification, quite
Yeah.
frankly, some other
Yeah.
things. And it's not black on black crime. So please, that is a racial,
Right.
that's
They
again,
need to kill
patriarchy
that myth.
on
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
You look where you really break down statistics, it's more white on white crime than there ever will be among black and brown communities. So that's a racist trope. It is a lie
Absolutely.
that they
Absolutely.
use, whatever. But and so I think that in creating safe spaces, because again, we used to police and see, we used to secure, not police, but we used to secure our own communities and
Absolutely.
neighborhoods. We would tell
Yeah.
you, just go sit down now, or I'm calling your mama, or
Absolutely.
saw, I saw you.
Absolutely.
What you behind doing over here? Because I know
Yes.
your mama.
Yes. We
What
all
you
had
behind doing
eyes
over here? I
on
know
us.
your grandma. What you
There were
doing over
eyes
here?
on us.
Why
Yes.
you hanging out with this person right here when I know
Right.
your mama already said your family don't rock with this family.
Right.
Ain't never rock with this family for generations. Why you all of a sudden
Yeah. What you doing in that
absolutely,
house?
you know
Yeah.
what I'm
I saw you
saying?
coming out there. Yes.
And
Yes.
so part of safe spaces is understanding the security that
Yeah.
came
The
with, and now we
collective
all know, oh, you
empowerment.
need to mind your business. You can't talk to my child. When you started that and allowing that to domino, then that's when the security within our communities and that whole it takes a village
Yeah.
died.
There's
And
an
I believe
empowerment in the collective. I'm telling
yes,
you.
there's
Yes.
safety in numbers. And I
Yes.
believe that we got
Yes.
to a point where we allowed outside voices in situations to
Mhm.
again manipulate and control us, and by saying, the puppet strings and stuff like, oh, you need to mind your business, what goes on here stays here, this is our business, this is our community, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And somehow we just back down from that, and we need that again, like you said, that solidarity back again. And I love that you see that in your community. In my community, anytime that we have any type of um pool party event, I'm like there. I be trying to be there
You trying to, yeah. Yeah.
because I'm trying to see who's around me. I'm trying to connect or whatever. I ain't gonna let you in my house because I don't
Right.
know
Like
you
we
like
ain't close
that,
like
but
that. I
I'm
know.
coming around to connect to
Yeah,
see
but I'm
who's
gonna come in the
around me. What kind of people
community.
around
Yeah.
here?
Yes. 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 Also a good part of safe space is that it's a good space to preserve our identity.
Yeah.
Like it's for cultural preservation.
Yeah.
Like when we come together in the Black sisterhood, that's a part of cultural preservation. Like, do you
Yeah.
know what we can share and exchange in that? You got your black eyed peas, I got my collard greens. Like
Making
we
them
we can
recipes.
preserve a lot of things,
Yeah.
and I'm just saying that in jest, but we can
Yeah.
preserve so much from the culture, our culture. We walk around, we don't have culture. Yeah,
We
because
do. We are the
we
culture.
got it. We won't bring it together though. You know what I'm saying? And so I
Mhm.
think that understanding that cultural and spiritual connection is a big part of our safe spaces. When we
Yeah.
start looking at it through different lenses, it should make us just want to, like yearn for safe space. Because
Yeah.
if I can get all of this in the deal, what the heck? Like, why wouldn't I want to be? But we got to understand, what is the safe space comprised of? It's not just
Yeah.
not just a venting space. Like when we see it as this is a space that's going to empower us. It's a space for
Mm-hmm.
healing, space for thriving, a space for cultural preservation. When we see it that way, safe spaces would look so much more inviting and rich.
Yeah.
It would stop turning people off that maybe been triggered from their own injuries. Maybe they were a part of a space and got injured, got kicked in the butt, you know.
Yeah.
But when we set it up to say this is what safe space is. This is not
Yeah.
just another group. This is not just another group. We're here to empower. We're here to validate each other. We're here to be equals, you know,
Yeah.
because it's needed and it's necessary.
Yeah.
That's the key. Do we see it as necessary? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
afraid a lot of Black women don't.
Mm-hmm.
Independent Black women, I don't need them women. Sis, yes, you do. And we need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got something we need. You got something we need. I got, we need each other.
Yeah.
And that's going to
Mhm.
be I don't know if it's my age that makes me see it this way, because
Yeah.
it could be, I'm mid 50s. So it could be.
Yeah.
But I think I've always thought this way. It's just
Yeah.
like, but I didn't know how to find it. You
Yeah.
I'm like, where is it? Is it non-existent? I know there are a lot of groups, a lot of safe spaces, but
Yeah.
are they full? Like, are they packed
Yeah.
with what we need as Black women?
Women. Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. And that's a great way to end today's conversation
Yeah,
on the importance of safe spaces for Black women. And so
yeah, yeah.
thanks, friend,
Yes,
for
friend.
joining me again.
Enjoyed the
And
music today. Yes.
listen, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. That came to mind while you were talking. I don't know why. I was like, why did that one come up? But okay.
It's
But
okay.
yeah,
That was the word. That was it.
you
I
got to
loved it.
find it. But it was great conversation. I really hope that
Yes.
you all found something in today's conversation that will truly help you in your healing journey. Because I'm definitely on a quest of finding safe spaces, if not like Renee says, creating them.
Yes.
And I don't take no mess. So I believe in the spirit and the power of block. Now, and I've come to this conclusion that also I think sometimes blocking hurts us because
Mhm.
I might just need to see where you are. And like I think Christian Keys said it. He did a video. He said, I don't block people out of my phone. He said, I just write something next to the name so I know who you are.
Period.
If I
That's
take you out
me.
my
That's
phone,
me.
if he said if
That's
I
me.
take you out my phone, then you reach out and I don't remember,
Now I'm
then
taking
I'm
her
just like, then I'm
card.
answering something I ain't supposed to be
Yes.
answering. Let me
Yes.
instead, I'm gonna leave you in my phone, but I'm gonna put something next to your
Listen.
name. I was like, oh, you know what? That's
I
so
don't
deep.
block. I don't
Oh,
block
Jesus.
you on social media. I don't block you on my phone, but I do stay on top of it, and it makes me very aware, and
Mm-hmm.
so I can know how to move
Of
accordingly.
accordingly, yeah, because that's the thing. I think we're so quick to block, and sometimes you do need to block.
Yeah,
But there are
if
other
it gets out
times
of
where it's
hand,
like
yeah,
I need
yeah.
to like, once I figure out who sent you, if I can't figure out who sent you first, I'll watch it for a little bit.
Thank God I haven't had to block anybody at this point yet in life, but we'll see.
It's all good.
It's
So
all
thank
good.
you guys so much for joining us. Until next time, we'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
What a great conversation today I had with my good friend Renee Roberts. And I just want to encourage us as Black women who are on healing journeys, individually and collectively, to be safe spaces, to truly, as you heal, become the safe space that you desire. It's good to look for it and expect it and find it. But and one of the things that Coach Renee said was sometimes you may have to create it. And in order to create something, you have to be that something. And so I want to encourage you that as you're on this healing journey, and I'm hoping that you're on it with me, is creating that safe space, but be that safe space that you want, that you're looking for, that you're expecting in others and in other communities. Because sometimes, even if there's already a community, when you show up, you want to show up as your authentic self, but you want to be genuine in a way that's not hurtful or harmful to other people. Because, when we show up in those spaces as our unhealed selves, we have to be careful that we don't turn those spaces into communities where other people don't feel safe, where other people aren't being healed, right? And so, walking into some of these communities and safe spaces, it's important that we examine ourselves and see how we're showing up, what we're contributing, right? Um, are we taking more than we're giving, right? And how do we interconnect with other people, you know? Are our expectations real? Sometimes in our healing journeys we realize that when reality doesn't meet expectation, that really does something to us, and it can be very triggering, and it can definitely send us off into these other emotions and have a domino effect. And now it's like, well, wait, right? So, in understanding the need for safe spaces for us, by us, right? Fubu, for us, by us, right? Y'all remember that brand back in the day? Anyway, um, it's important that we respect those spaces and we understand what what is required of us when we choose to engage in those spaces. So I really hope that you found something beautiful out of today's conversation, and that you find your tribe, you find that space, that place where you can be yourself, but you can flow, grow, and prosper, and continue to rise and level up and do all the things that you want to do, that you need to do, as you become that phenomenal Black woman that you are on your healing journey to become. So, thanks for joining us today. Remember to spread lots of love and light. Bye.